speech here in the West, and suddenly Muslims claim that that's what Islam teaches. When if you just look to the Muslim world, you find out all of that is nonsense. If you open the Quran and the Hadith, it's obvious that Muhammad's claims were not scientifically accurate. Almost everything he said on the issue of science was wrong. If you look at Muhammad's view of women's rights, almost everything he said on women's rights was horrible. It was horrendous. We would never accept this today. And then when we turn to the issue of peace and violence, almost everything Muhammad said on the issues of peace and violence would be horrendous to us today. Fighting people just because they disagree with you, subjugating them through violence until they submit to you and pay you just for the right to survive.
At least you would think, I killed enough and it's not working.
Yeah.
But it's just keep going on and on and on. I mean, for instance, Islam is fighting Israel for how many years now? More than 50 years. Mm-hmm. And we're still in point one.
Yeah.
The common sense for the human mind to think, okay, this thing is not working. We killed enough. Yeah. So it's enough of killing people and shedding blood. Let's sit down and talk it.
Yeah, no, there really can't be in Islam. I mean, if you understand what Muhammad is getting at, there's perpetual animosity between the Muslims and the Jews, according to Islam. That's straight out of the Quran, Surah 5. Read it. Read about the perpetual disagreement and animosity between the Jews and the Muslims. Imagine how much of an insult this is to Islam. When you have Islam, and for years it's been spread throughout the Middle East, across northern Africa, up into Turkey and so on, Islam has this area under control. And then after World War II, the West comes and says, you know what, we're taking this chunk of land right here in the Middle East, and it's Jewish land now. That's like a big slap in the face to Muslims. Hey, we are stronger than you, and you can't stop us. And in fact, the Jews are going to live here, and you can't stop them from living here. What happened? Muslims attacked Israel on the day it opened. On the day it opened as a country in the 20th century. They attacked it and they lost. This is absolutely humiliating for Muslims. There's no way Jews should have any power in an area surrounded by Muslims. It's just unthinkable. If you go back to Muhammad's teaching, see, when Muhammad rose to power, when he had enough soldiers to fight, he said, I will expel the Jews and Christians from the Arabian Peninsula and will not leave any but Muslims. As soon as Islam is in power, Christians and Jews are subjugated. Christians and Jews are subjugated, and you either get out or you convert to Islam, or you become dhimmis. You become people who pay just for the right to survive. Israel's not like that. Israel's not like that. They're not paying Muslims just for the right to survive. They have authority and power, and they're stronger than the Muslims around this. Muslims cannot stand this. It is a constant reminder that they're weaker than a country of Jews right in their midst, and they cannot accept this. And so as long as people really believe in Islam, they will never believe it's acceptable to be weaker than a group of Jews. And so they're going to fight them. There's going to be no end.
And come back, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, our heart goes to the people that lost their loved ones in Egypt. Our prayers are with you. And we will be back with our subject, Muhammad and the universe. Stay with us. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to our program live. It is Jesus or Muhammad, and our topic for tonight, we are going to speak about it shortly, Muhammad and universe. There is a lady a while ago, a few minutes ago, called and she said, الآية بالعربي بتقول قاتلوهم وليس اقتلوهم. طب احنا لو جردنا قاتلوهم وحطينا الفعل قتل، يعني يقتل الإنسان أي يميته، هذا هو المقصود. إذا قاتلوهم ولا اقتلوهم يعني ادخلوا في معركة معهم، ولما تجرد الكلمة قاتلوهم إلى الأصلي قتله معناها اقتل. So I'm trying to say it in Arabic first. Says in Arabic قاتلوهم اقتلهم. It's the same when you're fighting with somebody in Arabic, you have the right to kill him. It's coming with the verb of it قتل, to kill, to make somebody die. So I think there is no difference between the two words.
And really, if we look, first of all, if we look at the context of Surah 9, and if we look at just what the verse is saying, think about this. It's saying fight people until they're subjugated to you and they're paying the jizya. That's got to involve some killing. No Christian or Jewish community is going to say, hey, we're going to start paying these people every year, sometimes up to half of what we have, sometimes up to half of what we make in a year. We're going to pay it to these Muslims to keep us from qataluing us. What does it mean? It's you obviously want to protect your lives. But think about this. If we look at the context, what does fighting mean in the context of Surah 9? If you go to Surah 9, verse 111, you read this. Verily, Allah has purchased of the believers their lives and their property. So you belong to Allah. This is why you don't rely on your own understanding. If you don't like fighting, that doesn't matter. You focus on what Allah has commanded you to do. Verily, Allah has purchased of the believers their lives and their properties for the price that there shall be paradise. So Allah is giving you paradise. So therefore, in this life, you do exactly what He says. They fight in Allah's cause. All right, so now we have they fight. What does fighting mean? What does fighting mean? Check it out. They fight in Allah's cause, so they kill and are killed. Fighting, according to Surah 9, which is where Surah 9:29 comes from, fighting in Allah's cause means you kill until you get killed. That's what the verse means. So I simply have to disagree if you're saying it means fight like maybe you go out and you just beat someone up with your fist. By the way, that would be bad enough. If you're saying it just means you go out and fight with your fists or, just beat people up a little bit, that would be bad enough, beating people up because of their beliefs. But in context, in Surah 9, that's not what it means. It says you fight in Allah's cause. This means you kill and you get killed.
I don't remember there is a description also for the killing, the slitting of their throats and stuff like that.
There's all kinds of stuff, cutting off their fingertips.
So there is actually, we cannot take one verse and fly with it. No, does it mean this way? But when you read as a whole, it finds it that's detailed there. All right, let's go to our subject today, Muhammad and the universe.
Yes, and probably for all our subjects this weekend, we'll have some violence to talk about because it is really important. We